Okay. So, my stream crashed. I am back. Nobody's gonna hear this, but whatever. I'm just saying it because it has to be said. There we go. I do not know why it crashed, but we are back, guys. Yeah, I crashed. My stream crashed.
Engines engaged. Landing gear detected. Range control charger. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I'm sorry, I'm out of it. That was brutal. I guess YouTube kind of got sick of me streaming for so long, so it bumped me off a little bit. It's all good. It's just annoying. Alright. Let's pause that for a second. Actually, I want to hear the story over again because I love hearing these stories. Mainly because, reasons, but. And for those people that are new to the game, it's always good to hear stuff like this. Plus, this will give me a lot of stuff to play with. Hold up. Alliance, history, society, military. So we're on what's after military. Knowledge base is pretty dope. Like I go back and listen to it at least once every 2 or 3 months. Come on. Faster. There's so much. I honestly think the Guardians they reference here, they're like a branch of humanity that came before the humanity we know. Almost like a hybrid, like cat ape kind of thing, with more intelligence than us. Makes sense to me. Ooh, they haven't had the individuals page very long, have they? I don't remember this. This is gonna be new shit for me too. He's dead. I just looked, I'm like, wait, he's dead. And I'm pissed because he's dead. It was the father of the one that I serve. They put so much new shit in here. What the heck? I don't remember all this. This wasn't always here. So we are going to have some radio to listen to. Some of it I already played, but might as well listen to it all in order. Only makes sense. There we go.
The Empire. Introduction. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason. How infinite in faculty. In form and moving. How express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world. The paragon of animals.
Nice.
Shakespeare, Hamlet.
When our ancestors departed Earth, they asked themselves, which of our achievements represents the best of humanity, that we may bring it with us to illumine the darkness? The Federation,
Wasn't imperialism.
embroiled in a world of contracts and petty bickering, chose their constitution. They placed their trust not in man himself, but in an imperfect work of man. But my ancestor, your first emperor, was wiser. He knew that the best achievement of humanity was humanity itself.
Yep.
There was more wisdom in a single nucleotide of his noble DNA than in all the Federation's written texts. That same wisdom still guides us now. We need no dusty documents to assert our right. We are human, born to rule. And the universe awaits the firm hand of our governance.
I don't know about all that.
Val II, undelivered draft speech written immediately before his sudden and unexplained death. The Empire, while
his ass was murdered.
is easily the equal of its
It's not even a joke. He actually got
scale
murdered
and
in the
resources.
game's lore.
The key social distinction between the two powers is that slavery in the Empire is legal, a fact that has remained a source of controversy since its inception.
There's slavery in the game still.
And without. Some observers
They have
have
player
pointed out,
slaves.
however, the conditions for those
We need
at
to
the
free
lowest
those, by
levels
the
of
way.
federal society are far worse than those experienced by imperial slaves. The popular image of the Empire is one of opulence, but while pomp and pageantry may be the norm in the core imperial systems, elsewhere in imperial space, one can find myriad examples of deprivation and squalor. Indeed, the Empire encompasses many striking contrasts. Sophisticated technology exists alongside an ancient Roman system of government, and the affluence of the core worlds depends on often unregulated slave labor in the wretched outer
Still trying to
colonies.
figure out how I haven't been interdicted yet.
Ruthless industrial efficiency and low taxation has made the Empire rich and mighty. The hierarchy of imperial
It'll be funny if I get interdicted into
It is
Starport.
rigid, but a citizen can
Like,
always
right
rise
as I'm
through
about
the
to
ranks
drop.
if he or she becomes wealthy enough and makes the right connections.
Delay Delta Echo Foxtrot. Greetings, Commander. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area.
I can say fuck your safe speed.
Position authorized. Set down on landing pad 20.
I'm sorry, Puck. Super
Even a
Puck.
slave could, in theory, become
It's
a
hockey
senator.
time.
The Empire. History. The Achenar colony was founded. In the mid-23rd century, wealthy entrepreneur
It's
Marlin
not that
Duval
great.
was so frustrated with the federal
It's okay.
government that she founded an independent colony of her own in the Achenar system, chosen for its remoteness. When Marlin was killed shortly afterwards in a flyer accident, her brother Henson Duval took over as ruler. Henson Duval, the Emperor. Duval immediately abolished the fledgling democracy that Marlin had set up, and in its place, he established a system modeled on ancient Rome. He was now emperor,
Shit.
and his closest allies were his senators. Any colonists who might have objected were forced into silent compliance with Duval's vision. Such were his wealth and power. It was also widely believed that Marlin Duval, like Remus in ancient Rome,
Landing gear deployed.
had been killed by her own brother. Nobody
There we
dared
go.
to speak out. The Mudlark extinction. The colonists were aware that the planet they had settled, Achenar 6D, had indigenous life. But at first,
This
no
is
one
frustrating.
appreciated that this included a sentient species, nicknamed the Mudlarks after they were observed digging through riverbank mud in search of food.
Landing complete. Docking restraints engaged.
Alright. Let's see what we
Where the
got.
mudlarks were at a pre-agricultural stage of development, they appeared to have developed the beginnings of language. They also created crude forms in molded
Let's
clay,
see.
with no obvious practical purpose, possibly indicating a nascent artistic culture. The mudlarks proved fatally vulnerable to the bacteria carried by the colonists, and within a few decades of the colony's founding, the species was extinct. Rumors subsequently emerged that Henson Duval
Yeah.
had purposefully removed all traces of the mudlarks, partly in fear of federal reprisal, and partly to ensure that his development plans would not be hindered by ecological constraints. The Federation attempted to reclaim Achenar.
Alright, let's go for
When the federal
transport.
government heard rumors that Duval's colony had recklessly caused the destruction of a sentient indigenous
Let's
species,
see. Nope, nope,
they
nope,
decided
nope,
on
nope,
military
nope,
intervention.
No.
The Imperial ships beat back the Federal attackers, who were unable to establish a beachhead among the airless outer worlds, and struggled to maintain supply lines so far from Earth.
Nope.
The Federal
And
forces
nope.
eventually fell back and entrenched in the
And
Beta
they don't got
Hydrae system.
anything at this station.
Skirmishes with
Not
Imperial
jack, not
ships
diddly
continued
shit.
for the next 50 years. But these
Look,
were
it's
unable to
Omicron.
prevent
It's
Duval
not Percy
from
I-8,
expanding
but
the
it's
Empire
too
to
aerodynamic.
many other worlds.
Who got that
The
reference?
Age of Expansion. After hostilities with the Federation ceased, the Empire entered a century
As
of
he said,
growth,
he know.
annexing many new systems and persuading others to join. It spent the following 2 centuries consolidating its new territory, appointing
Oh,
colonial administrators from among the noble houses of Achenar. The
I think we're
Empire.
good.
Society. An ancient
Yeah, I don't need
Roman
anything
model.
here.
The Empire works on a clean system. Society is divided into tiers.
I was gonna
Emperor,
say, what?
senators, patrons, clients, and then
What is the base
citizens,
armor on
with
a
slaves
Python
below
anyways?
these. Groups of patrons pledge their support to a given senator, offering
350.
military service, tax
Really?
revenue, and the right to wield the patron's votes in the Senate on their behalf.
That's not much
In return,
compared to
the
some.
patrons are granted a measure of protection and material security, as well as having their interests represented in the Imperial Senate.
Almost 250.
Senators are responsible for deciding tax rates and welfare systems for their patrons, meaning
320
the
for
lower
my
a
ship?
senator's tax rates, the
Ah.
more patrons he is likely to attract. This is far from being a patron's only concern, however. Loyalty
Alright.
over time, ideological compatibility, family connections, and discreet private deals can all play a part in deciding which senator to back. The system
Alright, I need to
extends
finish this
downwards
mission
through the
quick.
tiers in a similar fashion. with clients pledging themselves to given patrons, and citizens pledging themselves to given clients. The votes held by the patrons actually comprise the total votes of all the clients pledged to them. Similarly, the votes held by those clients comprise the total
Detach confirmed. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
votes of their pledged citizens. Patrons are therefore capable of investing variable degrees of power in their chosen senators, with the result that some senators
Alright.
are more powerful than others. Senators are responsible for
Landing gear retracted.
those below them, meaning that everyone has a form of social security, at least in theory.
There we
Indeed,
go.
many senators take pride in the
Let's get
security they
speed
offer their
going up.
citizens. Some have even been known to drain material wealth from small independent worlds and pump it back into the capital economy,
Range of charger.
allowing them to reduce citizens' taxes
Alright.
and giving their own
Reset.
popularity a considerable
Combat mode.
boost.
Combat mode for
Patrons are
hips,
free to
combat
withdraw
mode
their
for...
patronage from their chosen
flight.
senator, placing the onus on the senator to represent them satisfactorily or face a
Oh,
loss of
I just
voting
had a
power.
thought.
Rigid stratification. The division between social classes is formal, unambiguous,
Threat level
and
0.
strict. But there is a clear path to advancement.
Threat level
A person can pay a fee and petition for admittance to the rank above.
Many light
In
seconds.
this way, slaves can become citizens too. The law is not the same for all. Senators have a responsibility to enforce the law, and they must obey the emperor's
It's almost
decree,
1,000.
which are
It's
otherwise above
996 light seconds.
the law. A senator can even carry out executions personally with little, if any,
Let's go there.
fear of consequence. The Empire.
I'll just do some
military, the Imperial
kind of
Navy.
guerrilla drops.
Maintaining a
and
modernized navy has always been a top priority for the Empire. The ever-present threat posed by the Federation has driven previous emperors to empty the coffers again and again
I hope that's
for
a
fear of
fed.
being outstripped in the arms race. More recently, funding has come from wealthy individual senators, many of whom are all too eager to
That
gain
better not be an
influence within
actual
the Navy. Indeed, it
pirate.
has been claimed that devastating planetary mining has been carried out in
Then again,
order
if I get to fight a
further this
Type 10
cause.
again today, I'm gonna be happy.
The Fasisi system is arguably the most significant Imperial naval base. Many officers are housed on the world
You say
of Topaz,
Fasisi?
while Peter's Wreck is home to the training centers.
I have it.
As well as the battle fleets, the Imperial Navy maintains a subdivision dedicated to exploring the fringes of known space. The Emperor's Own. Genetic engineering is not
Screw
officially
that, I'm not
tolerated
dropping in on a 4, okay?
but it does sometimes take place.
Sorry, game.
One notable example is the Emperor's Own, a group of genetically engineered super soldiers deployed during the shock invasion of Mansfield Colony in the Leadler system in 2959. They proved brutally efficient, overrunning the Federal defenses in a mere 2 hours and inflicting a rare defeat upon a Federal Gurkha regiment.
I need 25 kills.
The Empire,
Let's go.
culture, and values. The human body represents perfection. This belief, once held with near religious intensity, still forms the bedrock of the Empire's culture and morals. Genetic modification is frowned upon, but a degree of genetic correction is known to take place, supposedly to correct defects such as vulnerability to certain diseases.
Alright.
The belief in the sanctity of the human body originates with the first
7
emperor,
seconds.
Henson Duval. While he did not
6,
claim to be literally descended from the gods,
5,
in the manner of Roman emperors of
4,
old, he declared that his own image
3,
was the paradigm to which others ought to aspire.
2 seconds.
Households across the empire were required to display
One
a
really
statue or
long
bust
second.
of the emperor in a place of honor. Imperial citizens are therefore expected
And
to shun
less than a
habits
second.
that corrupt or defile the human body,
But that's different,
such
because
as
light
excessive
travels at different
indulgence in
speeds.
narcotics.
Just like my ship.
The ownership of slaves, by contrast, is tolerated in the same way that the ownership of any beautiful work of art is tolerated. Mistreatment of slaves is thus akin
Let's
to
go, let's
vandalism.
go, let's go.
Keeping one's own body in peak condition and adorning it
I think we
with
got 8
jewels and
minutes left
expensive
on it.
clothes is not vanity,
No, it's about
but
7
duty.
minutes, I think.
And owning well-treated slaves
Took us a minute to get here.
is also considered a sign of good character. The Emperor
Okay, Commander. Initiating SLF deployment.
Scan detected.
Word is supreme. The Emperor's successor
Fighter is online. I'm ready when you are.
is decided by the Senate, although the Duval dynasty has such a strong power base that the imperial throne has only ever been occupied by members
Let's go.
of the bloodline. For generations,
I'm doing this one for
genetic
fun,
selection
guys.
ensured that the Emperor's heir would be male, and the current ruler, Arissa Levin,
Under attack.
All right. Throw it in reverse. Let's go. I got your evasive maneuvers right here.
Target destroyed.
There we go. He's gone.
Target destroyed.
Woo! I did not see what I wanted to see there, though. Let's see. Oh, did that even give me one? Nope. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to properly hunt them down. We'll do it the other way. Alright.
Duval is the first woman to hold the throne. Marlene Duval is sometimes described as the Empire's first female ruler, but this is incorrect. The colony she founded was a democracy.
Recall.
Honor
On my way, Commander. Fighter retrieval commencing.
is everything. The value placed on honor is a constant throughout all tiers of Imperial society. Honor can be lost through various means, including leaving debts unpaid, failing to respect a superior or provide for a dependent, breaking a solemn vow, conducting combat with cowardly weapons such as nerve gas, and defiling one's own body.
Sequence complete. Fighter is safely on board, Commander.
Slavery
Frameshift drive charging.
is acceptable, but slaves must be well treated.
4, 3, 2,
Let's go.
engage.
In the Empire, it is not uncommon for the poor and disenfranchised to sign up for a period of military service in exchange for a small sum of money. A similar logic applies to imperial slavery, to the extent that someone might into slavery to clear a debt and restore their honor. Selling oneself into slavery is a straightforward legal process and results in a guaranteed sum of money for one's family. So it is a popular option for the desperate. In
Hey, I
practice,
would've done it.
however, many find that it takes much longer than expected to clear their debts.
If I didn't do
People
my
are also
research.
forced into slavery against their will.
See, the slavery in this
Sometimes a
game is
senator
weird
will sentence
because
a person of lower rank to be
there's
stripped
good,
of
there's bad, and
citizenship
there's ugly,
and
you know?
designated as a slave.
so
But it is more common to impose
Just
a
don't be a
fine of
pirate
such
slave.
magnitude
Kill
that
him
the
first.
citizen has no recourse but to sell his or herself into slavery. Slaves may also be taken prisoner following a conflict, abducted from their home, or even captured in a hijacking. While trading slaves is lawful everywhere in the Empire, except on Emerald, taking new slaves outside of wartime is illegal, without the blessing of a senator.
that's
The
fucked up.
Empire. Diplomatic
I'm
relations.
anti-slavery either way.
The Federation.
Part of
Resentment
that
the
underground
Federation
movement.
runs
And when I get
deep
the
in Empire.
right ship kitted
The
out, I'm gonna be taking
is
slaves
remembered as
and
an
freeing them.
oppressive, interfering force that
I'm gonna take a
hypocritically
cruise liner,
avoids
give 'em a
inflicting
taste
the
of the
slightest
finer
harm on
things.
non-human life. but thinks nothing of forcibly imposing its values on its fellow
It's gonna be a good
humans,
game.
and lacking the freedoms and social customs that the Empire values so dearly. While open hostility has frequently been the case in the past, the current situation is one of grudging
Beacon seems
coexistence
further out than yesterday.
beneath which mistrust simmers. Despite this antipathy, the Empire cooperated with the Federation in a series of joint initiatives against the Thargoids in the early 3300s. The Alliance. When the Alliance was
There we
founded
go.
in 3230,
Come on.
following a bitter conflict with the Empire and the Federation, multiple systems defected to it from both superpowers. To the surprise of many, the Empire took very little further
Let's
retributive
go
action,
already.
partly because of the ill health of the Emperor at the
5,
time, and partly
4,
due to a belief that the
3.
defecting systems
Psych, I'm dropping early.
return to their natural home, sooner or later. The Empire's current attitude to the Alliance is one of studied contempt. To recognize
Copy. Deploying the fighter now.
it as a threat would be too much like showing respect. Internal politics.
Fighter is clear of the mothership.
Unsurprisingly,
Let's
for a
rock.
society so concerned with rank and influence, the Empire contains a multitude of feuding power blocks. In particular, there is a good deal of bad blood between the various noble houses, whose values range from hardcore traditionalist to staunch
Probably
reformist.
nothing.
The Imperial Senate is no longer as overshadowed by the Emperor as it once was, and has gained sufficient strength to act as a counterbalance to the Emperor's political will. The individual character of the Emperor still determines
Here
the
we go.
Empire's overall direction, however, and the suggestion that the Empire should evolve out of its old ways has proven deeply divisive. The Federation.
Alright, where is the
Introduction.
beacon? There we go.
For I dipped into the future, far as human eye could see, saw the vision of the world, and all the wonder that would be. Saw the heavens fill with commerce, argosies of magic sails, pilots of the purple twilight, dropping down with costly bales, till the war drum throbbed no longer, and the battle flags were furled in the Parliament of Man, the Federation of the World. Alfred Lord Tennyson, Locksley Hall, 1835.
There we go.
How then to attempt the impossible task of summing up the Federation?
Viper?
We are the ones who
Battle
draw
cast
the
together?
lines.
Okay.
Our forefathers, who lived through the bitter anguish of global wars, drew a line under them and declared, no more.
I love these graphics.
Enshrined the rights of all citizens in our Constitution, underlined them, and signed. We plotted the lines that first linked the star systems, bringing humanity to the shores of new worlds, opening the way to interstellar
Alright. And now we play the waiting
in
game.
the exuberance of youth, threatened the delicate balance of alien life. Again, we drew a line. Thus far let us lawfully tread, and no further.
Scan detected.
Ho ho ho! Let's have some fun, buddy.
Federation President. Inaugural speech, 2862. The Federation is the oldest of the galaxy's three superpowers.
Under attack. Incoming hatchback. Target shields offline. Cargo flight in progress.
No. That's not the way this works, bruh. You didn't think I was alone, did you?
Target shields offline.
Bye. Oh, I'm loving this.
Destroyed.
things were a little hairy for a second
Hell
there.
yeah.
No more hostiles detected.
They had no idea what they were flying into. Oh my god. That was great. Alright. Let's see. I need those. Okay, you know, fuck it. Where are they? Where are the heat resistors? There they are. That was freaking hilarious.
A vast geopolitical entity reaching out from the core system of Sol and encompassing a broad socio-economic. Thank you. Among the myriad federal star systems, one can find extraordinary wealth, crushing poverty, and everything in between.
Okay.
By
They didn't get
contrast
the
with
tritium.
Empire, which
Good.
offers a social safety net in the form of state-sanctioned slavery, the poorest members of federal society no safeguards and no way out. For them, life on the graffiti-stained streets is inescapable, and the gulf between their lives and those of the super-rich could not be more insurmountable. At its best, the Federation embodies the values of its founding nations: democracy, industry, and liberty. But federal society can also be competitive and unforgiving. Corporations wield too much power, politicians are often corrupt, and a sink-or-swim ethos prevails.
Okay.
The Federation.
Invalid.
History. The nations of
Shielding
Earth
invalid.
united in the aftermath of war.
Invalid. I'm full on those.
World War III, the United States of the Americas rose to become the planet's dominant nation.
Holy crap.
Over the following years, it gradually brought the other nations of the world under its aegis. Called at first Federation of the USA, the expanding democracy was soon given the less exclusive title of
Here
the
we go.
Federation. Humanity reached for the stars. When faster-than-light travel became a reality in the 22nd century, several terrestrial corporations competed fiercely to establish the first human colony in a new star system. Tau Ceti was the first system to be colonized,
Shit.
followed by Delta Pavonis, Beta Hydria, and Altair. In their wake, there followed a wild scramble of
Okay.
pioneering expeditions and colonial ventures. The first colony rebelled. The year
Oh.
2161
I can't take
saw a
any more of
dispute
those,
between
wow.
the colony of Tau Ceti III and the Federation Authority, centered on the colonists' repeated refusal to limit the damage they were inflicting on the alien ecosystem. Earth dispatched a fleet with orders to revoke the colony's charter. The colony responded by declaring independence. A military stalemate led to grudging and the Federal Accord resulted,
That's
granting
what
the
I thought.
system rights and representation, along with concomitant duties. The Federation, born on Earth, was now an association of star systems. The Birthright Wars
Oh, this is
gave
gonna be fun,
corporations
guys.
preferential treatment. Starting in 2621, a group of corporations subjected the federal government to over a century of unrelenting pressure. They demanded the right to
That
buy
didn't
up
work.
underexploited colonial land from its hereditary owners. Under the terms of the original charters, the land belonged to the colonists and their descendants, regardless of their ability to mine, farm, or otherwise exploit it, meaning that immense
Come on. You know you want to die. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. You have an escape pod, it's fine. Just use the escape pod. I'm after the ship, not your body. Oh shit. That didn't work out. My missiles are amazing. At range. Alright, I can fix that. Alright, hold your breath. Okay, so there's a fine line of range here that I got to work with.
Target shields online. Target shields offline. Under attack.
It's not gonna work, bro. I'm not wasting any more missiles on you. Don't even try it.
Target destroyed.
That's the last of them, Commander.
Let's see. I can actually use all that.
Programming linked drone. Cargo scoop deployed. Programming linked drone.
Resources were lying untapped. The corporations argued that with the machinery, workforce, and fleets at their disposal,
See, what does it
they
take
could
to
tap those resources.
restock?
The Federation would be enriched, the original owners would be compensated, and everyone would be satisfied. The Federation bowed to pressure and allowed compulsory purchase of the family's land, albeit for far less
I can
than
do
the
it.
expected sums. Outrage, rebellion,
Cool.
and in one case, the defiant resettlement of an entire colony resulted. The Federation's detractors often point to this dark episode as indicative of its true nature, a mere administrative puppet bent
Cargo scoop retracted.
of rapacious corporations.
Alright, back to the beacon.
The Federation. Society. A federated democracy. The Federation's legislative body is made up of congressmen elected to represent their system or state. Apart from the oldest core systems such as Sol, which encompasses multiple states, each star system within the Federation is considered a single state.
Authority vessels, Owen?
New colonies do not qualify for full Federation membership until and unless they fulfill the development objectives set down.
What are those?
With self-reliance comes representation.
Long-range scanners,
The
what do you
federal
have?
government has its seat on Mars, which was terraformed in 2286. Congress was moved there from Earth in the early 3rd millennium. The executive branch is headed by an elected president with a fixed 18-year term. Constitutional rights obtained. The sovereign rights of all individuals are enshrined in the Constitution, which is a modified and streamlined version of the US Constitution, originally codified in the 18th century. The right to liberty underscores the absolute ban on slavery within the Federation and is a point of contention with the Empire. Corporate interests dominate. Although the Federation is loudly and proudly democratic, corporations still exercise tremendous influence over the democratic process, shaping citizens' choices through celebrity endorsement, lobbying, and occasionally outright corruption. The government is notoriously reluctant to curb corporate activity.
Alright, they're about to jump in right in front of me,
The typical question in Congress is not whether a given policy will favor corporate interests, but which ones it will favor. Competition between corporations for Congress support can lead to a deadlock in the government. The Federation. Military. The Federal Navy. The Federation has maintained a battle fleet since the days of the first federal colony, which was established in the Tau Ceti system. Its official mandate is to protect shipping and defend the borders of outer space.
Yes.
But it has also frequently been deployed against the Federation's own rebellious citizens. At first, the Federation's member systems were required to contribute the required ships, making the mustering process a cumbersome one. But following the Birthright Wars,
I did get 3 kills.
Corporations were chartered to produce centralized fleets, which made for
I
a
just
far
need 22
more
more.
efficient system. The Naval Shipyards and Training Academy were originally based in the Anlave system, but the Academy has since been moved to the custom world of Navy
that could be fun.
in Eta Cassiopeia. The Navy benefited from massive investment following the forced sell-off of colonial land in the Birthright Wars, during which it was wielded against the colonists in a bitterly resented move. When the Thargoids were first encountered in 2849, the Navy was boosted once again in fear of the alien threat, and a further bolstering followed
Nope.
in 2867,
Alright.
in the aftermath of what were believed to be Thargoid attacks. Governor Raul Santorini championed heavy cuts to the Navy budget in 3022, which were not reversed until President Varian Scott
I'm
came
gonna
to
go
power
ahead
in
and,
3144.
Tell these
Scott
guys till
talked up
something
the
happens,
Thargoid
maybe.
threat, again increasing funding to the Navy and removing the requirement for military actions to be approved by congressional vote. Land forces. In addition to the rank
go.
and file, the Federation still enjoys the loyal service of special military divisions, such as the Gurkha Regiment, who have served since the days of Earth. Keeping up long-standing traditions such as this is an important link to the past for Federal citizens. The Federation. Culture and values. If you want to eat, you have to work. The Federation has no room for freeloaders. It has nurtured the core frontier values of self-reliance and entrepreneurship since its inception and respects the self-made citizen. This insistence upon paying your way and pulling your weight also applied, notoriously, to the process whereby new colonies were established. Until a given colony was able to fulfill the development goals
Where
set down
are
for it by
all
the
the
Federation,
enemies?
it could only ever be a dependency with no voice of its own. Given that the Federation's assigned goals
Oh,
could vary wildly
my
from
clone.
one colony to the
Scan detected.
next, this requirement frequently chafed with the colonists. While the Federation maintained that it was simply exercising flexibility, since no two worlds were the same, some colonies were tempted away to the Empire by the promise of
Where are
being
you?
recognized as sovereign without having to jump through arbitrary hoops. Corporations took humanity.
Collector limit expired. Under attack.
Nice. Here we go again.
Target shields offline.
Oh, that tanked us all. Woo!
Destroyed.
Enemy wiped out. Awaiting further orders.
Nice. Ha. Yeah, I can't use much of that. That was awesome, though. Wow, System Authority didn't do shit. It's okay. I was good without them. There we go. Come on, Paul Taylor. And an orca. That's a weird name for a pilot for an orca. Alright. Alright. Let's see, Miss Star. Aw. Oh, that's too bad.
Target shields offline. Range loss detected.
They're trying to escape, Commander.
They died.
Temperature critical. Target destroyed.
That's the last of them, Commander.
Damn. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and...
Into space. The Federation has never forgotten the role played by private enterprise
Cargo scanner deployed.
in the initial migration from Earth. Corporations enjoy substantial freedom and influence on
Programming limit drone.
the Federation. So much
Ah,
so
this should be
that
fun.
it often seems they are the powers truly
Programming limit drone.
running the show. Federal citizens can be as passionately loyal to their corporations as they would be to a family or clan group. And it is common for successive generations of a given family to serve the same corporation. Harvest the limitless riches of space, but respect non-human
So,
life.
If you're
The
watching,
Federation
how do
and
you
the
like
Empire have
the
hugely differing views on the primacy of humanity in the
Pac-Man missiles that
cosmos.
I've been using?
While the Federation
I think they're
insists that its
badass.
colonies treat indigenous non-human life with care, the Empire typically takes a more human-centric approach. This attitude has allowed the Empire to poach several developing
I wonder how many
Federation
they
colonies
fire at a time,
who
though.
felt themselves hamstrung by ecological
Ammo-wise.
regulations. Wealth
I think it should be
is
one for
freedom.
like 12.
Federal
One ammo for
citizens
12
actively
shots.
embrace corporate culture, expressing
Well,
their identity
one
through
shot.
brand choices and media consumption.
One ammo for 12 rounds with an, yeah.
The Federation.
I like a
Diplomatic
shotgun
relations.
missile.
The Empire.
That's what I
In
think.
2292, a group of colonists established a settlement on Akanar 6D, chosen for its remoteness. The original intent was merely to live free from interference, but autocrat Henson Duval rapidly took control of the colony and had himself proclaimed emperor. The Federation attempted military reprisals, partly
go.
due to the nascent empire's insistence on independence, but faced a harder fight than they had expected and were held at bay. Over the next 50
Cargo scan retracted.
years, the empire expanded to many other
All right.
worlds. The Federation's relationship with the Empire is one of entrenched mistrust, stemming from irreconcilable ideological differences, mollified somewhat by the corporations, which have a presence in both territories, and thus act as a stabilizing influence. Outright hostilities between the powers, when they
Okay.
occur at all, are
Got
usually
someone right here.
conducted through proxy forces. The
Singer
Alliance.
Jackson.
In 3228, the federally aligned corporations supplying the Alioth system attempted to raise their prices, leading to a citizen rebellion. Several independent systems assisted the rebels. Neither galactic superpower was able to suppress the revolt. The Empire was too far away to intervene effectively, whereas the Federation was hampered by unexpected public sympathy for the rebels. The Alliance of
Here we go
Independent
again.
Systems, founded on Alioth in 3230, drew in new members over the next 20 years. Some were already independent, while others defected from the Federation or Empire. In order to keep more worlds from defecting, the Federation
Target shields offline.
Woo!
Destroyed.
Nice! That was quick and easy. And somewhat relatively painless. Who's this flying over here? There's a few flying towards the sun. Is that all debris? That is debris. Holy crap. He went further than I thought, so no one's by the sun. Or maybe not nobody, but he's nobody.
forced to reform the process,
There
whereby
we go.
colonies could achieve full federal membership. So far, it has only managed to slow the loss of worlds to the Alliance, and has yet to tempt any back.
Nice.
The Alliance. Introduction. Rise, like lions after slumber, in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth, like dew which in sleep had fallen on you. Ye are many, they are few.
Alright.
Percy by Shelley.
Let's see.
The Mask of Anarchy, 1819.
I've read your speech a dozen times, Mick. We can't use it.
Oh.
Sure, we can
What the hell?
sound off about self-rule and freedom
I've heard a
from tyranny
few,
and the
but
dignity
not
of the
all of
working
these.
man/woman, and the young hotheads would
The fuck
lap
was
it
that?
up like they always do. I'm not saying we don't need that stuff, but we mustn't forget it's just marketing. A shiny wrapper.
Ho ho ho! Yeah, you can scan me, but not this guy over
If we're
here.
going to make the Alliance of Independent Systems happen, we need more than tub-thumping speeches from a war hero. We need to show our people that the damn thing can work. I want spending plans, dividend forecasts, surveyors' reports. I want data so dry you don't need to believe in it.
There we go.
The people are tired and heartsick. They
Target destroyed.
Things were a little hairy for a second there. No more
Got another one?
detected.
been sold dreams too
Damn.
many times by both sides, so let's not try to sell them anymore.
Let's see what we
It's
got
time to
here.
wake up.
Come on, Vlad. This guy better be wanted. Oh,
Private
come on.
communique from Meredith Argent to Mick
Freaking
Turner,
Impaler's not even
founders
wanted.
of the Alliance. The Alliance is the youngest of the galaxy's 3 superpowers, and is perhaps best understood in terms of what it chooses not to be. It rejects both the extreme capitalism of the Federation and the rigid hierarchy
I
of
can
the
see
Empire,
you clear as
choosing
day.
instead
Let
a
me
third
scan you,
way,
fucker.
a
Hey.
voluntary association for
Oi.
mutual benefit.
I have
The desire
long
for
range
freedom from interference,
sensors. What the
both
hell?
from external threats and internal
You can't
bureaucracy,
block.
was the key motivation behind the Alliance's founding, and is enshrined in its Articles of Association. The governments of the member systems
Scan detected.
are given as much
Burger
autonomy
Roast,
to
you
create
fucked
their
up.
own laws and administer their own affairs as possible. The right to political self-determination and cultural self-expression are essential to the Alliance, but it remains to be seen whether the ultimate result will be stable harmony or a cacophony of dissenting voices. Every Alliance member knows that alliances have been made
Target destroyed.
Yeah. You wanted
many
cargo
times
and a
only
Eagle.
to collapse.
What, you gonna carry 2 cargo?
The Alliance. History. Alioth was colonized. The crucible in which the Alliance was forged
Huh?
was Alioth,
Ooh.
a system so rich in
Tempered
gas and mineral
alloys.
resources that early surveyors
And I do need
considered
them.
it a stellar El Dorado.
Programming linked drone.
When the Federation established its first colony on Alioth 5b in 2452, they gave the planet the less grandiose name of Fruitcake, as mineral deposits lay in the loamy soils as abundantly
They named
as
the
raisins
planet
and
Fruitcake. That's freaking stupid.
Later, commentators
Oh my
would
God.
reflect, bitterly, that the world was well named
Oh, that's
because
stupid.
everyone wanted a piece. A conflict over mining rights drew in the
Ugh.
superpowers.
Ugh.
Alioth's prosperity soon attracted corporations eager to support the developing system in exchange for a share of the profits. A
Cargo skill retracted.
dispute over rights quickly escalated into an armed conflict, prompting the Empire to dispatch a military force, ostensibly for
Just
the
clean.
colonists' protection. The Federation also sent ships, but theirs were a response to the
Wait,
corporation's
there's a third ship.
raid.
I can't get
Unable
to
to
it.
directly engage the Federal ships without sparking a war,
Come on.
the Empire covertly encouraged the Alioth colonists to renounce the
What is that?
Federation
Is that
and
a
accept
vulture?
Imperial protection, thus freeing the Empire to engage
Diamondback.
with the occupying Federal forces in sympathy with the will of the people.
Okay,
This
it's
marked
fine.
the first of many incidents in which the people of Alioth were used to advance the agenda of another power. Federation-sponsored insurrection.
Alright then.
In 2530, the Federation set out to undermine Imperial control of Alioth by exploiting local resentment of the governor. They covertly supported acts of protest and petty vandalism. Then, when the inevitable Imperial crackdown followed, stoked the fires of social unrest. A terrorist movement called the
Well,
Takers
I got
emerged,
nothing.
and the
We sit and play the waiting
atrocities
game now.
escalated.
Since I
The
have
years
no
that
help.
followed saw a protracted and degrading series of proxy wars and cynical propaganda campaigns.
At least I
as
have
the
8.
federal, imperial, and corporate powers all contended for Alioth. The system made an abortive attempt to establish its independence in 2617, resulting in a short-lived cooperation between the Empire and the Federation, neither of
What do
which
you
were
want?
willing to allow this.
He wants
The
to get
revolution.
shot.
In the early 4th millennium, both the Federation and the Empire
Check
had a
this
presence
out.
in the Alioth system. Fruitcake, now known as Gordon Lands, was a federal protectorate, while the Empire had earlier conducted terraforming experiments on the world of New California, and also held
Peace out.
gas mining platforms in the system. The federal corporations supplying New California had
Target destroyed.
raised the prices of their goods several times in the previous years. And when they imposed yet
That was
another
fun.
price hike, the planet's inhabitants
I was like, I'm gonna
revolted.
kiss his ass with rockets.
In the insurrection that followed, rebels commandeered every
Scan detected.
available ships and headed out to the gas mining platform.
Woo!
Target
Okay, it's getting real quick.
impulse attack. Protect.
Oh no, you don't. You don't disrupt my trajectory, bitch. That's not the way this works, yo. Go through the cloud. I had to cool down a little bit. I was getting out of hand. They almost warned me about it.
Heatsink deployed.
And then he goes. Oh yeah, he's toasted.
Target destroyed.
That's the last of them, Commander.
Nice. Oh, I need the chemical processors. Where? Awesome.
Bombs, where they attacked the outpost's corporate employees.
Okay, hold up.
Alarmed, the Empire
This
and
is
the
all shit I
Federation
need for my
dispatched
mods.
ships to put down the rebellion, but were beaten back by a hastily assembled force made up of fighters from Alioth and, crucially, volunteers from nearby independent systems. Neither the Empire nor the
Cargo scoop deployed.
Federation were able to gain a foothold.
Programming link drone.
There we go.
Eventually, both forces had to withdraw.
I'll have enough for more
The Empire
upgrades soon.
faced too many logistical problems fighting
Programming
Can't argue with that.
so far from home, while the Federation's efforts were undermined by public sympathy for the rebels. An alliance was brokered. The victory in Alioth had proven that independent systems working together could hold their own against the
Let's see.
superpowers. It fell to pilot Mick
Over 1
Turner
million in
and
bounties, that's
scientist
good.
Meredith Argent to ride the wave of public spirit and propose a permanent alliance under whose aegis
Yeah,
independent
guy scanned
systems
me.
could enjoy
Didn't even get a
freedom
full
from
scan
imperial
before I attacked.
and federal interference. The alliance was founded in 3230, and in
I
the
loved
next
it.
2 decades,
Tilted.
it expanded its membership to more than 20 systems, some defecting from the Federation and the Empire, others pledging as independents.
There we go.
The Alliance.
See,
Society.
galvanizing.
Many worlds,
Can't
few rules, no
Heat
overlaps.
conductive.
The
Basic.
Alliance's articles of membership are designed
Heat
to unite the
conducting
member
and
systems
chemical.
with
Yeah, I
strong,
need them all.
straightforward
The only one I
bonds
don't
that
need
allow as
now
much
is
self-determination
galvanizing
as possible.
alloys.
Membership guarantees mutual prosperity through guaranteed free trade and security through the Alliance Defense Force, while
Galvanizing
leaving
is
much of
maxed.
the business of government to the individual members.
Phase is maxed.
The Alliance Assembly acts
Shielding,
as a central arbitration
sensor and
committee,
emitters are
helping to
maxed.
settle disputes between member systems. It also
Okay.
oversees
I need
formal
pretty much
arrangements
everything
between
else.
members, such as treaties, research goals, and mutually agreed policies. As no one system can be allowed to carry more weight than another, the Assembly frequently
what?
finds itself bogged down in endless back and forth negotiations. Getting them to agree
Cargo scoop detected.
on anything,
Cargo scoop deployed.
a task often compared to herding linglangs, notoriously ill-tempered carnivores from the Akanar system. A body of civil servants who remain
That's gone.
uninvolved in politics handle most of the day-to-day administrative
Oh, well.
work that enables the Alliance to
Cargo scoop contracted. Scan detected.
Yo, Squatchy.
conditional autonomy for member systems.
Squibbo, you sealed your own
Alliance
death.
members are required to subscribe to and up
Scan detected.
code of human rights, and to have a democratically elected government. Citizens of any member state have a right of freedom of movement and
Trust me, bro, it's not worth it. You don't want to target me.
Furthermore, all the systems
Too late.
are obliged to give immediate military assistance to any fellow member
Goodbye.
necessary.
Target shields offline.
The Alliance. Military. The
Frameshift charge detected.
They're trying to escape, Commander.
Oh, no, you don't.
Alliance Defense Force.
You don't scan me and get away with it, especially when you're a mission target.
All members are required to commit ships and crew to the Alliance Defense Force. This rapid response group usually remains within Alliance space, and its tasks vary from providing a beleaguered system with military assistance to evacuating settlements hit by natural disaster. A 6-member Council of Admirals oversees the Alliance Defense Force. It is accountable to the Assembly, but does not
What the hell
require
is
its
that?
approval before taking action.
I'm seeing
This
lights in
freedom
the
of
distance.
decision-making prevents urgent military action being delayed by tedious debate. The Alliance. Culture and values.
Oh,
Cooperation,
that's debris.
mutual aid, tolerance, and respect. The values that bind the Alliance systems also hold true on an
go to Gupta.
interpersonal level. Just as the different worlds of the Alliance formally recognize one another's legitimacy and value,
Wow.
Not compliant.
individuals are generally reluctant to show prejudice against others and will band together to help those in genuine need.
Wilco, Commander. Returning to Fighter Bay now.
Diversity is strength. Members
I
of the
need
Alliance are not obliged to conform to what they consider
7,
the corporate
18 more.
saturation of federal culture, or the status-obsessed posturing of the
Yes, 18
imperials.
more.
Individual systems are encouraged to preserve and celebrate their own cultural identities. This approach results in a rich variety of artistic, literary,
Sequence complete. Fighter is safely on board, Commander.
and dramatic output. Freedom.
Alright. As soon as I land, I'm going to take a break.
Speak. Free to protest.
And we're going
One
to,
curious cultural
go to
constant
Twitch
across
next.
The Alliance member systems is the
and
way
I'll
the
be
citizens
streaming
indulge
on
their
there
freedom
for
to
a little
complain.
while.
They
I
can
might be
criticize
doing
their
some
governments
Minecraft,
without
I'm not
fear
sure.
of pressure.
Minecraft or
And
Rocket
they
League
frequently
one.
do so.
Because I need to take a break.
Previous experience
I don't
of
want to, but I
exploitation
need to,
has left
and,
many citizens cynical, but possessed
shit.
of a certain more
Hull integrity compromised.
and a willingness to take life as it comes.
Anyways, you got the picture. Hang on.
The Alliance. Diplomatic
Yeah, I
relations.
couldn't do
Federation.
the loop of shame. I'm
Alliance
not, I
attitudes
refuse.
to the Federation vary sharply, depending on whether one is asking about the Federation's government or its citizenry. The government is seen as a hidebound relic, unable to arrest its slow decline into decadence. But the
Programming link drone.
general populace are much more compassionately viewed. An Alliance citizen, proud of his or her own emancipation, is likely to have a rather condescending view of a federal citizen.
Experiment successful.
They are characterized
Meeting deployed.
as ignorant
Frameshift drive charging.
Jews, kept satiated by mass
There we go.
market
Alright, so, for those of you watching, now or, yeah,
and branded consumer goods.
if anyone watches this, it'll be later.
On the contrary, it is
Thank you for
widely held that
watching,
the Federation
and-
and the corporate barons deliberately
Shut
keep the people in this circle.
anyways, thank you for watching. And, yeah, go ahead and leave a subscription, or hit the subscribe button here, and go and follow me on Twitch if you want to. There'll be more. I play a lot of different games. I currently had all my shit wiped on Twitch not too long ago when they shadow banned me, so, it's Mistwalker227 with a no space. There's a space on YouTube, but not on Twitch. It's the same account, though, or name. I really suck at this. Anyways, yeah, I'll be over there. I can't really talk about YouTube on there because they're, you know, don't know how to do anything right or legally binding. It's actually legitimate, but you know, It's neither here nor there. I'm having a lot of issues with that lately. Everyone has, so good luck to us all. Just trying to provide entertainment and not just for myself. So, that being said, I will be back with another video probably in about 2 or 3 hours, because I need a break before I take the other break. It's weird, you know. Game, relax, maybe do some housework or something. Not really, but you know, something to that effect. Watch anime, something, and then come back and do more games. That's what I'm gonna do.
Delta Echo Foxtrot. We prepared a landing pad for your arrival, Commander. Welcome to our station.
Yes.
Access granted. Set down on landing pad 3-8.
I really love these rockets. Actually, I could play some Fortnite later. I need to do Fortnite and Rocket League. Yeah, I couldn't think about it. And then I gotta do Minecraft tonight. Got all kinds of stuff to do. Of course, this mission has a good 5 days on it. So, even if I don't finish this mission today, I'll still gotta play those other games. So, we'll do more of that later, more of this later, everything. Just gonna try and make it as fun to watch as possible. But I love these Pac-Hound missiles so much. I'm just sad that I couldn't hold more missiles.
Landing gear deployed.
Wow, 32,000 for fuel
Landing complete.
or restock.
Disembark.
Oh, that was repair. Never mind. I'm still loopy. Sometimes you can't talk right, but that's just how I work. Let's see. Integrity, shields, restock.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Let's see. Mappa. Huh? Huh. 1.1 million. Nice. Anything else? No. Okay. And there we go. Good place to park it for right now. Wait, what'd that say? I thought it said request received. It said access granted, I think. Alright, guys. Well, I'll be back with another video later. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Not subscribe. I can't talk right sometimes. It's okay. Get tongue twisted. Get lazy. That's just how I am. Subscribe if you like what you see. Dislike it if you don't. It doesn't matter. Please just do something. And whatever you do, enjoy the content. Whether it's mine or someone else's. You know, it doesn't matter. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all next time, hopefully. Especially you, Beth. I know you're watching. Peace. I got to go.